Hello everyone and welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. Still in my old living room and still may have the hum of a washing machine in the background. This video is a bit unusual because I said earlier on this year in an earlier video that we'll be reviewing more available, more approachable whiskies. More available, more financially available, more approachable. Last week's obviously is like fully sold out, so I apologise for that. And this week's, I'm pretty sure by the time this video comes out, is already gone. This is a single cask bottling of Lochindaal. Now, a small history. Lochindaal is part of the Bruichladdich distillation range, for want of a better term. So you have Bruichladdich, which is unpeated. You have a whiskey called Rhinns, Rhinns, which is sort of moderately peated, like 25 ppm. You've Port Charlotte, which is 40 ppm. You've Lochindaal, which is 50 ppm, and then you've got Octomore, which is, you know, crazy. This was a single cask bottling that Mark Littler has got a hold of. I've worked with Mark a lot in the past, and he sent me a sample of this to do some tasting notes on for like the document and the catalogue of it. And I went, sure, I'll review it. And the review I sent back to him was just like, wow. I don't understand how I've never tried a peated whiskey which does this before. Now, for all of you that will remember, the 2017 Lagavulin 12-year-old cask strength was the only whiskey that I've ever called perfect. Indeed, it still is, but this is insanely close. Like, insanely close to it. Facts and figures. 10-year-old whiskey, I think it was one of 150 bottles, and that was it. 62.7% full cask maturation in an old bourbon cask, beautiful golden colour, and it was cask number 4297. The ppm rating isn't on the bottle, but based off what Mark has told me, it's roughly 50 ppm. Cask number 4297, whatever that cask is doing now, my God, keep an eye out for it, because if it did this to this, then I can't wait. Natural colour, non-chill filtered, all the good stuff. And this really nice label, which was done by a local artist, or a Scottish artist of the Bruichladdich distillery. The whiskey. So it is it was, because past tense will probably apply, it was £150 a bottle. I managed to get one. It was opened and shared because I've got friends who are serious Octomore fans and friends who are diehard Bruichladdich fans, and even some of them had never heard of Lochindaal, so it's a bit unusual. But allow me to indulge myself as I talk to you about the nose on this thing. Obviously I've smelt it before, and it's still the same, which is nice despite the power that's in the bottle. Oxygen hasn't changed it too much. Never before have I had a peated whiskey where the smelling notes were just so varied. So naturally when you put this thing to your nose, you get peat smoke, you get old wet bogs in winter time and the dry heat coming out of them in summertime, that kind of mustiness of it all. But the barrel, the activity that this barrel has provided to this whiskey is just incredible. The nose on this thing is like melted white chocolate. Caramelized white chocolate. For those of you that are aware of Caramac bars, it smells like that. It's got this beautiful banana, toffee, custard, banana pudding, yogurt thing going on with it. And then lingering in the background, because the sweetness is so prevalent, it's really fighting the smoke. Lingering in the background is this kind of, I'm thinking of this like a Stephen King novel. It's almost like this shadowy figure lingering in the background of the intensity of the peat and the kind of spiciness from a very active bourbon cask. Think of it like barbecue, like, you know, the power and the overwhelming taste that barbecue has when you eat barbecue food or barbecue flavoured food. It's in the back, and the smell on this, you get all the sweetness up front and all the smoke, and then in the back is just this like shadowy barbecue smell. And then on top of that, there's almost like elderflower freshly cut grass, there's a bit of pine, it's slightly minty. There's just so much happening in it, and I didn't think I'd ever get that in a peated whiskey. I'm not showing you folks the back label either, just to kind of show you the back label, just to get that in. All your facts and figures there. Forgive my shaky hand. I think Mark launched this on the 30th. This video's come out well past then, so unfortunately I think it's sold out. If not, there'll be a link to his website below, just in case you want any more sort of facts and figures about it. But let's taste it. That's changed. The smell's the same, but the taste is very different. My God, the finish. Try and remember the first time you ever tried a peated whiskey, let alone a cask strength peated whiskey. Okay, so let me talk you through this. Weirdly enough, the start of this, from this side of my tongue, came this huge lemon zest note. Really bright, really citrusy, really intense. It was like so just acidic and bitter, but kind of like welcoming. You know, that refreshingness that lemon can bring to something. It starts off as like this tiny microcosm and then just goes. The sweetness, some of the sweetness is pulling through, but it's coming across like a dolce cream, like a very sort of creamy, liqueur-y coffee. At the start, this is in with the first couple of seconds, the smoke and the peat just kicks through the door. Like you're sitting there going, oh, it's nice and sweet and soft, and there's this lemon out, and then in comes this smoke, and it's so intense and so welcoming. And this is coming from someone who has reviewed Octomores in the past, but has never actually bought one, because I think this is better, significantly better. I need to taste it again, because that was just bizarre. It's so creamy and thick. Okay, the lemony thing didn't happen this time, but that dolce coffee cream liqueur thing's still there. There's dill, there's rosemary, there's sage, those nice classic green herbs, nice and delicate, but still got some kind of meatiness to them. There's a butteriness to it, which is unmistakable with the creamy feel. Obviously milky coffee, almost like a Madeira cake, like a soaked sponge cake, whether you want to soak that in Madeira wine or coffee. And then it turns into this asphalt, tarmac, raw vegetable, intense smokiness. It's pulled every ounce of moisture off my tongue. My cheeks are still wet, my tongue is not. I've never said that in a video before. I doubt anyone has. But it feels like my tongue has been coated in some sort of mineralic liquid that isn't whiskey. It feels dry and chalky, like I've licked the side of a granite quarry, is kind of the only way I can think to describe it. And then the smoke starts up here, and then it just gradually tapers off. This, honestly, this kind of whiskey is why I think single casks are not only so incredible, so unique, but also quite frustrating. Because this was a private cask. I don't know how many bottles in general were available, but I think Mark only had 150 to sell. So, you know, that's 150, well, 149, because I bought one. So, as a result of that, going on about how good this is, it's quite infuriating, because hopefully there might be some left, some of you can get some. But outside of that, it's quite annoying because this bottle may be gone. But as a result, Lochindaal, in terms of, if you guys want to see that again, I'll get it up there for you. Keep an eye out for this, because since trying this, I've tried 2 more tiny samples from other private casks. Not as good as that, but getting there, really getting there. They were both like second fill bourbon barrels. I think that's first fill. But that's an incredible whiskey. I give that a solid 9.5. No messing around. Some of you might not like that score because you might not be able to buy it, but that's one of the best peated whiskies that I've ever tried in my entire life. Oh, I thought it stopped then. It's kicked back up. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. This is a very long video, so I do apologise. But yeah, we'll see you all next week. Hopefully in a more regular setting. But yeah, have a nice day.